Note, payment processing systems are down. All ticketing stations are cash only.
Arthur, find a terminal. Check in. I need to know you made it.
Feels like there's someone in my head.
Nearly done with this bitch of a year. I wish we could just start over. Find that Dr. and Trotty bastard on day one. Then I wouldn't be alone on New Year's Eve. Going, Arthur. Find Dr. Andrade. Follow him into hell if you have to.
Coming up to midnight, folks. Is your PC ready for the new millennium? Or are you one of the switched-on thinkers who can tell this so-called Y2K event is just a bunch of bullpucky? Stay tuned. Here's where we find out.
So, Albrecht made it to 1999 in one piece. But that thing is still on his heels. Albrecht rarely smiled after his return from the void. And never like that. I smashed the casket for nothing! It followed him anyway! Silence, creatures! It seems the murmur overloaded your connection. Unfortunately for Albrecht's cherished POM 2, not as future-proof as the label claimed. Alas. The murmur. They're attacking the sensory network I installed. Our eyes and ears. To arms, Tenno! Play the warrior and leave the tactics to me. Construct, I'm awake. Your one responsibility is fulfilled. Be with the family. They must be kept in the state of ignorance to which my Albrecht so wisely consigned them.
But I... Yes, I see. Until we meet again, Tenno.
Doesn't that grimoire feel a little...
The murmur presumes to destroy our auditory and visual senses. In all the time I have been asleep, they have never once been so bold. Ignore the caveat, Tenno. If Albrecht ever understood their babble, he never bothered to share that knowledge with me. Here they come! After all those years of creepy, silent encroachment, something has changed them, stirred them up. There is a defense system of sorts. Gather enough of the floating Warframe glyphs, and they should reinvigorate the organs you're here to protect. A fallback system, in case the promised operator of the show. The Necromegs never could be compelled to attack the murmur. Albrecht suspected they could no longer distinguish between the indifferents and himself. A theory he was reluctant to confirm. shifting focus. Get to the victory! Look at them. The indifference. He could have given lessons in indifference.
Come! Come!
Albrecht once thought the Cavia should have been destroyed. Failures all. But he briefly showed reluctance, and I saw no reason to punish them for his negligence. I saw off Granum's thugs. I beat back the infested. And by the void I shall see the end of these monstrosities.
Doesn't that grimoire feel a little...
The nun presumes to destroy our auditory and visual senses. In all the time I have been asleep, they have never once been so bold. Ignore the caveat, Tenno. If Albrecht ever understood their battle, he never bothered to share that knowledge with me. Here they come! After all those years of creepy, silent encroachment, something has changed them, stirred them up. There is a defense system of sorts. Gather enough of the floating Bospin glyphs, and they should reinvigorate the organs you're here to protect. A fallback system, in case the promised operator never showed. The necromags never could be compelled to attack the man. Albrecht suspected they could no longer distinguish between the indifference and himself. A theory he was reluctant to confirm. Shifting focus. Get to the victory! Look at them. The indifference. He could have given lessons in indifference.
Come! Come!
Albrecht once thought the Cavia should have been destroyed. Failures all. But he briefly showed reluctance, and I saw no reason to punish them for his negligence. I saw off Dranham's thugs. I beat back the infested. And by the void I shall see the end of these monstrosities. Yourself down, Tenno. We are still alive. Rejoin me, and the Kalimo sequence may proceed.
That's the last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go home.
Figure things out. We have nothing to worry about.
If the Cavia have been babbling our secrets to the Murmur, I shall immolate the lot of them. Promise or no promise? It seems Albrecht said more than we heard. Despite the signal becoming corrupted, his words to you are preserved in the transference buffer. We should extract them. But for that, the POM-2 requires a replacement board. And those are all hidden away in the Netracels. You do understand that accessing a Netracel without a key glyph is completely impossible? A key glyph. So, the Cavia have provided the very item we require. Very well. Proceed to the Netracel at your own risk, Tenno. That babbling oddity may be sending you into a trap And if you do end up in one, I'm afraid you're on your own. Geoglyphs are a heavy burden for living beings to bear. Each type will impede you in its own way.
Look at these things lying around. Abandoned.
You are his demon, not mine. I won't listen. My apologies to them. I shall refrain from further outbursts. There, a Netracell. Albrecht has stored all manner of sentimental old junk in these. Insert the key. The Netracell's security apparatus is diligent. That door won't open while it can sense the murmur nearby. So eliminate them. Acromites! The lab's automated systems are trying to lock down the Netracell. Your only option is to destroy it. Sardonic aloofness. I was a fool not to see the resemblance before.
You should have left well enough alone, kiddo. It'll never get better if you keep on picking at it.
Excellent. Return to me with the board, Tenno. Thank you. A moment, please. Would you do the honors?
Arthur? Tenno. Forgive me. I need Lloyd to understand why I had to leave. Without him. Why I forced him to destroy the device after I had gone. And why I could never say the words he so needed to hear. If I had remained in the Deimos laboratory, Lloyd would never have been safe from him. You know of what I speak. And so I retreated to the only place in history where that entity could not easily follow, to draw his greedy eye away from Lloyd. Tenno, I require your trust. Craft the little curio whose blueprints you will find in the computer's memory. Complete the Kalemos sequence. Repair. Rebuild. When the time is right, find me.
The skin of a martyr doesn't suit you, Albrecht. If something mattered, he'd have found a way. It's too late. You heard him, Tenno. He requires your trust. So craft the bloody thing.
Kiddo, you don't want to be late again, do you?
The Jahu gargoyle. Bring it back here and we shall examine what form will do to help us. Albrecht may have told you to build...
At last! If ignorance is bliss, then you, Tenno, must be ecstatic. Come on then, bring it closer. Wakey, wakey.
Where did that come from? Identify yourself!
Please, Lloyd, let them figure it out. That's the right direction. Oh, who's a good biped? Oh, and now it's wandering off again. Hello! Wrong! Yes, yes, very good. Keep going. No, this way. That's it. Almost there. That's the right direction. Who's no, that's it. No, that's the right direction. Oh, who's a good biped? Oh, and now it's wandering off again. Yes, very. No, we're going to be here. Oh, that's the right direction. No, that's the right direction. Who's a clever little air breather? You are. Yes, you know. We're going to be. That's the right direction. Oh, who's a good biped? Oh, and now it's wandering off again. Hello! Wrong! That's it. Almost. No, we're going to be here all day, aren't we? Yes, no! Here, in the jar! What? The fish with the big brain? Yes, the fish with the big brain! Can we please finally get this interminable process over with?
Albrecht used you to give the Cavia a voice, just as he used me to keep them alive. Such a resourceful man.
So, here...
You and...
Talk! I can talk! Hey! Oh, Mr. Lloyd! Mr. Lloyd! Where is Papa? Why did Papa leave us? Mr. Lloyd!
Papa is gone. We can all be gone too. In an instant. Like... We have to keep quiet.
Okay.
Allow me to boil this down for you. Should the indifferences corrupting touch reach us and take back our speech, we would be screwed. So, Brialov, and eradicate the murmur in this patch before the big bad gets word that Lloyd's awake and the fish is talking.
Tenno, there is some truth to what the fish says. That page was the last thing my Albrecht ever wrote. Meant for me. Since I had no interest in reading his endless self-justifications, I hid it away instead. But with all this chaos, it's undetectable.
So long as the indifference is missing a digit, it is confined to the strands of Kra. Don't ask, your tiny mind would likely pop under the strain of understanding. This limitation is our one hope.
Do not patronize the Tenno fish. The strands of Kra are merely void renderings of the chains of cause and effect. Conceptually embodied timelines, if you will.
Papa's daughter excelled at explaining complicated concepts in childish terms. I see now where she learned it. sure this is you, the rest of us are moments away from an extinction grim, black, and final. So, if you would be so kind, finish up so I can point you toward that sodding page! It was a long walk towards competence, but here you are. Now please, the page.
How about you give me the page instead, kiddo? Consider it part of our deal.
It's done. Keep it to yourself, Tenno. I'm damned if I'm giving Albrecht the last word.
Wilhelm raps upon the untimed door, and sans grimoire, we are undone! We've been rumbled!
Thank Void! Listen, the Murmur diverted your extraction jump. We need you back at the Sanctum, now! Hurry! It's taking the labs inch by inch. Well, I won't let it take his bloody caviar!
The sodding indifference seeks a path through the walls, and then Tenno, through you! Keep it at bay! approaches. Soon, it will take on mass. The grimoire must speak with its own voice.
You gave me back my sight, but I would not spare you a glance. You gave me back my voice, but I never spoke to praise you as I should have. For you were my right hand, my strength, my support, my sanctuary. Even when the galleries hurled scorn upon me, your sole desire was to suffer it in my stead. On your first day of service, you aspired to be worthy of me. I only wish that I could have been worthy of you, my lord.
This stillness. Tenno! No. Operator.
The strand of claw has been cut, while the indifference remains undeterred.